hey, at least this time around, they didn't just like call it something ridiculous like Halloween 3. Oh no! Instead, they decided to go the machete route and call it Kills. Because Michael Myers don't text. Halloween Kills is brought to us by director David Gordon Green and stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, and Anthony Michael Hall. So Halloween Kills is of course the sequel to 2018's sequel Halloween of the original Halloween. Look, I'm not going through all that naming shit again. The way that they've named this series as a whole with the reboots and the redos, the retcons and all that shit, it's just really fucking confusing. This one takes place directly after the 2018 movie ends. And while in the end of that movie it seemed as if Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode finally defeated Michael by trapping him in the basement and setting the house on fire, obviously that's not the case, and he does escape the house and go on another killing spree. We get returning characters from the last film that actually survived, and we also get some new returning characters from the original 78 film that survived then. And much like the previous two films within this timeline, pretty much everybody's just trying not to get killed by Michael. But this time, the town of Haddonfield has just had enough. Fuck this Michael guy, we're gonna go get him is what they say. And while that idea originally I did actually like, I thought that that would be kinda cool to see the town kinda like rally together to go after Michael. In execution, it wasn't as good as I'd hoped. Let's get it out there up front. I didn't hate this movie, but I didn't love it either. When it comes to the 2018 Halloween, I actually did enjoy that movie a lot more than I expected to, especially given how I feel about the original 78 version. So going into this movie, I was kinda looking forward to it. I enjoyed the last one, and all the people behind the screen and in front of the screen plus more are coming back, so I thought, okay, this is gonna be a good time probably. And it kinda is at times, but it definitely has its issues, and it doesn't stack up to the 2018 version or even the 78 version in my opinion. First of all, what works? Michael Myers himself, for the most part, is still an imposing brute. I really like this character in this timeline. He doesn't come across as like totally unstoppable and superhuman, but he's pretty close to it. This guy is extremely menacing and imposing. If you like blood, guts, and gore and just really harsh, brutal, nasty kills, you're gonna have a good time with that aspect of this movie. They don't hold much back here. The kills are fucking brutal as hell, and we get some really gnarly looking scenes. So the kills aspect of Halloween Kills, I actually did really enjoy. Also, the performances are very much in line with the 2018 performances, so if you like those, you're gonna like these. There are a couple of times when they go out on some limbs and get a little bit hokey with some of the dialogue, but overall, everybody involved here, which is much of the returning cast that survived from the last film, does a really good job here with their performances. Something else I really enjoyed about the film was its overall look. It looks like a Halloween movie, and it's shot really well. This is a really good looking flick. On a side note, there are some flashbacks that take us back to the 70s with the original murder spree, and those very much so look like they came from that time period. They look like they were pulled directly out of that movie. What also goes with that great look is the practical gore effects. They look great here. As far as I could tell, they used a tremendous amount of practical work here, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, that's a whole lot of good stuff about this movie that I did really like. However, you may have noticed that there's one or two things I haven't really mentioned yet, and yeah, that means we're getting into the part that I didn't love so much. And the two things that really bothered me the most about this movie would be its narrative and its tone. So while I'm not gonna ruin the story here or anything, I'm just gonna talk about it in vague terms. Let's just say that when the movie starts out, it is very much coming directly off the 2018 Halloween movie. And I was cool with it then, and I was also cool with it throughout about the first third of the movie. But somewhere around that second third to halfway mark of the movie takes a turn in a different direction. Now this trajectory actually starts earlier on, but we really get a lot of it around the middle of the movie, and it really starts to pull away from what Halloween is. And that would be the whole town banding together kind of lynch mob mentality thing. This sounded like a really cool idea, and I thought that it would have been cool, but honestly, in practice, it just took away from what I want out of a Halloween movie. Halloween is a fairly simple premise. You got Michael Myers, almost unstoppable psycho killer, chasing people, killing people. That's it. You don't need more. Stop trying to give these movies more deeper, more thoughtful themes and things. It's really simple. Unstoppable killing force. Kills people. People run from it. That's it. That's what we want. I know some people, myself included in some circumstances, want more to our stories. We want things to be deeper. We want lots of backstory and all kinds of explanation. But when it comes to this type of movie, when you start doing that, it just takes away from the whole thing. The places they go with this whole lynch mob portion of the film, I just didn't like. There's also a lot of subtext to that has a lot to do with current events that I just really didn't appreciate in my Halloween movie either. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I don't want real life shit in my movies. Get it the fuck out. I've got enough of that in the real world. I watch movies for escapism. I want to get away from all that shit. I mean, damn it, man. I just want to see Michael Myers gruesomely kill a bunch of fucking teenagers. Is that too much to ask for? Now, as I said, we do get a lot of that gruesome killing in this movie, and that's pretty damn cool. But this middle section of the movie just really rubbed me the wrong way. It just pumped the brakes on the whole thing, and it was like we went into a different movie altogether. I know what they were trying to say there. I mean, it's not subtle at all. It's in your fucking face. I just don't think it had a place within this movie. Now, after we learn all these lessons that they want to teach us in the middle part of the film, we get to the final third or quarter of the film, and things do get much more in line with a Halloween flick. I started to get reinvested in the story. I started to enjoy it again, and I was liking where it was going. And then they had to go and fuck it all up. The end of this movie really irritated me. I can't say why without spoiling things, but let's just say there are things that they do in this movie that kind of go against the whole reason they retconned all the ridiculous sequels in the first place. I remember when they were talking about making the 2018 Halloween, and one of the things is that they wanted to get back to the roots of the 1978 Halloween. A more grounded yet still terrifying look at the whole slasher thing. And that's what 2018 did. Sure, there was some stuff that was a bit over the top, but for a movie, it was more grounded. Especially compared to some of the shit we got later on in the sequels in the original Halloween series. So they were wanting to get away from all that ridiculousness. But some of the things that transpire in this ending, some of the proclamations that are made, just kind of start going down that same fucking road again. Just left me kind of thinking, what the fuck? You're doing exactly what you're trying to get away from. Now, of course, we all know that the movie does end on a pseudo cliffhanger because there is another Halloween movie coming, Halloween Ends, which we assume will be the last one. We'll see though. And who knows, maybe that movie will come out and it will write a lot of the things in this movie, or make some of the things from this movie make more sense. And at that point, I'll look back at this one and say, oh, okay, well, I get that now. But as it stands now, I just couldn't get into this ending. There were things that transpired that just really turned me off when it came to Halloween. Does the movie have kills? Hell yes. It has some fucking awesome kills. And at times even, they're so over the top and gruesome, I feel like they're kind of leaning on those to kind of mask some of the shortcomings in the narrative department. And I think that some people are going to end up really liking this movie because of that. Or hell, maybe they just really like the movie and that's your perspective. But for me, like I said, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. Guys, Halloween Kills was okay, but it was a bit of a disappointment coming off of the great 2018 Halloween. Some of the narrative decisions they made, I just could not get on board with. The whole lynch mob mentality thing just became kind of a message in my Halloween movie, which I was never asking for that, and the end just really goes places I don't want to follow because, you know what? I've already been there. However, the movie does look great, it has some good performances, and if you're here for the blood and guts, holy shit, you're gonna get it. There are some brutal as hell kills in this, and admittedly, they are a really good time. And while I didn't like this one as much as the 2018 Halloween, it was okay, I guess, and absolutely worth checking out on streaming.
Across the street.
I'm sure there are going to be people that disagree with me, and that's fine. If you love this movie, that's great. But for me, it was just a bit of a disappointment. However, when it does show up on a streaming platform of your choice, it is worth checking out one night. So if you're looking for a new Halloween movie with some really brutal fucking kills to check out for the night, then check out Halloween Kills on streaming, and I think you'll have a decently good time with it. So there it is, guys, my review of Halloween Kills. Still can't get with that name, though. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, channel, check out my Patreon in the description below, become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits to go along with that, like these guys. And possibly join my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Greg. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Haddonfield.
I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes.
So while I didn't see this entry as a high point in the series or anything, it is definitely better than a lot of the sequels we got in the original timeline. And while I know all movies have their fans, I think if nothing else, we can all agree that this movie, really no matter how bad it could possibly get, is definitely better than Halloween Resurrection. Yeah, the one with Busta Rhymes. Fucking Busta Rhymes.